Now, I want you to take a deep breath, buckle your seatbelt, and let's go. Okay? Marriage is more than a legal contract, and I will not be teaching like you know the world. I'm a kingdom woman, and I won't be teaching like the world teaches you about marriage, because marriage is more than a legal contract. It's a sacred covenant that exists within the divine order of the universe. See, because marriage is God's idea. You know, Nagon Christian's post the other day, I was reading it, and he said, my last relationship taught me that you can be the whole package, but at the wrong address. In other words, you can be an amazing, let's put it like this way, complete and wonderful partner, the whole package, but still be in a failed relationship because you're with someone who isn't right for you. They don't appreciate you being you, or isn't ready for real commitment. So he called that right person but wrong address. Compatibility and mutual readiness are crucial. What did I say? Crucial for a successful marriage. Please pray with me if I sneeze or whatever. I'm battling this, and I told the enemy, regardless, I was going to bring this message tonight. Being with the wrong person can make you doubt your own worth. Did you hear that? I got a pen. It can cause you being with the wrong person because they doubt themselves and they're ready to cause you to have doubt. You can be everything someone should want, but if your core values, needs, or life goals don't align, the relationship won't work. We still have weddings and ceremonies, but do people get married anymore? Do they really get married anymore? Are they joined? Are they committed? Are they rooted? Are they connected, or are they just hinged? Do they have character? I mean, character to stand. Here comes a wind, and when that wind comes, where are they? Are you good? I want to put it this way. Are you good at getting and lousy at giving? You have to put work in the marriage. And I've been saying that since I began this session. Marriages are evolving relationships that develop over time. You never marry to have a prop. You see me, you see us. Ooh, it's showtime. Would you like to have a man like me? Would you like to have a woman like me? Would you want to be like this woman because she's with me? No, you never marry to have a prop. No, your spouse needs attention. Now, the kind of attention depends on what age your spouse is. Many young people think attention is just sex. Many older people think attention is just respect. When your spouse, then listen to this, when your spouse do not, how can I put this? When your spouse do what they do best, be quiet. When your spouse do what they do best, be quiet and value that. Roles depend on value and not gender. See, don't look at other people's relationship and I wish my wife was quiet. I wish my wife was this. I wish my wife wasn't loving God so much. Listen, when your spouse do what they do best, be quiet and value that. Roles depend on value, not gender. Find out what your spouse and even your children do well and put them in position to shine. You have to put your ego to bed, husbands. Refuse to be petty. Refuse to be like the other boys, because that's what they are, and the other guys, and want your marriage like them. That you're not them, you're not. You may be on a journey in the Lord, but who's to say you're going down the same road as they are? Enjoy who God has given you. So you put your ego to bed. Refuse to be petty. Shift from me focus and take on a broader awareness. You know what it's called? It's called us and we, not me, myself, and I. It's not my show. Here's the question. Are you winning at home? I don't care what it looks like at church. I don't care what it looks like. Hey, Sister Felicia, she had surgery on, I believe, day before yesterday, and she is back home. And so those of you that will and can remember, because all of us are so busy, we are a busy church, give her a call, please. All right. So here's my thing. Are you winning at home? I mean, at home where the people that live with you, that know a lot more than a woman in pumps and a man in a suit. Are you winning at home? Respecting and valuing your spouse without comparing your spouse. That's a sign of spiritual maturity. People who have, now watch this, people who have low self-esteem, they cannot live in peace. And they cannot enjoy their God-given mate. Why? It has nothing to do with their mate. It's an inner struggle within them. And so therefore there's no peace in them. And therefore they cannot enjoy what God has given them. They have trust issues, unwarranted suspicion about their spouse's fidelity and for their spouse's affection. And so their mind doesn't think correctly. They overthink in the situation, which causes them not to have peace in their home. Oh, they try for a little while, and then about a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, give it a month, and they're back to where they were because they have not dealt with what's going on the inside. You feeling me, Brittany? They operate in fear of rejection. They operate in abandonment. I don't know. Many times we don't know what really have gone on in their homes when they were young. You find out that they're clingy. And then those people, they have a controlling behavior. They are self-sabotaging because of inner struggles. Things seemingly can be going well, you think, and before you know anything, there's drama because inside them there's drama. They make up scenarios in their mind. Guess what? To cause confusion. To see if you love them. Does she love me? Does he love me? He loves me not. I gotta see. I gotta figure this out. No, overthinking. That is not healthy. I'm gonna stop right there. A lot of us, I was telling Dee Dee or JR, I can't remember, Pastor J, I can't remember which one it was. I said a lot of us as African Americans, we don't think there's mental illness in our families. Now, I really believe in the power and the anointing and the deliverance of the power of God. I believe in that. And when you believe like that and you allow God to have his way in you, it will happen in you. But there are some people that just don't believe. So I invite you to go to somebody's couch. I invite you to go somewhere, go to a psychiatrist, if that's what you believe in, go to, what is it, a therapist, and let them work out what was not worked out of you when you were a child, because you're not having a happy life. Now, they'll make up scenarios in their mind, and it's to cause confusion, just to see. Yeah, are you with me? Hello, Bowser family. A partner with low self-esteem often creates internal scenarios, leading to confusion because their insecurity fuels what? Overthinking. They think on worst case predictions and misinterpretations of events as threats. They create conflict and distrust in the relationship. They want you to even think that they're doing something because they want you to be jealous and envious. And you want to be at peace and live in harmony and love with them. And they're looking because they're inner. That peace is not there. And so they think of ways to get you frustrated and get you to feel jealous over them or envious over them. And you would be surprised what the enemy has anybody doing who is overthinking. Okay? They create conflict and distrust in the relationship. It's called the mental game. What if game? Game serves as a defense for them because I don't really know what they're doing. I don't know what she's doing. I don't know what he's doing. And so therefore, I'm going to do this. And then this is going to be my defense towards them. And you don't know what you've done. In their way to prepare for rejection, these people will prepare for rejection because that's the way they've always lived. They distort reality and watch this and cause internal turmoil, making themselves feel threatened by their partners. Watch this, normal actions. Their partners just being normal and enjoying life and enjoying Jesus and thinking that they're enjoying the marriage, but that person that has that inner problem, that there's no peace there. They can't maintain the capacity to keep peace in their marriage. Once again, they can't maintain the capacity to keep peace in the marriage. Since marriage is God's idea, I believe there can be happiness. I believe that there can be peace in a godly union. I do. The devil have not made me to believe that it can. When you talk about doing it God's way and having God smack dap in the middle of your marriage, happiness and peace can be in it. Look, I want you to check out Matthew 5:9. Matthew 5:9. Jesus said, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called" what? "The sons of God." And let me put it this way, because he's not just talking about, when he says sons, he's not talking about male men. He's talking about God's offspring. Can I say it like this? Blessed is, and that means happy twice. See, not just blessed, but blessed. Blessed is happy are the peacemakers. It's a positional happiness, which is the key to practical happiness. When God is happy in the heavens, it will be happiness in the earth. When God is happy in the heavens, it will be happy in your marriage. When the will of the Lord is done in the earth, you will benefit from it. If you're not happy in your marriage, is it being done as in heaven? Is your marriage operating as it is in heaven? I'm going to go back to what I was saying. Peacemakers are the offspring of God. That's male and female. If you are not a peacemaker, you are not a child of God. Hard, but true. If you're not a peacemaker, you're not making peace in your relationship, maintaining peace in your relationship. Blessed or happy are the peacemakers, for they are the sons. They are out of him. They are the offspring of God. And if you're not a peacemaker, you're not a child of God. Let me go to John 13:35. John 13:35. Jesus said, "By this, men will know you're mine. By this, men will know you're mine." Because there's love power there. They'll know you're mine because love power is there and peace goes together. Love power and peace goes together. If you are not a peacemaker, you are not a child of God. People can only give you what they have. All right, let's go on. If you have joy and peace in your marriage, you'll be okay. Those are some powerful ingredients. You hear what I'm saying? Whether you ever go to any exclusive, what can I say, exclusive cruise, that doesn't get it. But if you just have peace and love, those are powerful ingredients. When you have Jesus, both of you sure enough have Jesus. Isaiah 9:6 says, Jesus is the Prince of Peace. So if Jesus is in you and Jesus is in your spouse, then why are you not peaceable? Jesus, Isaiah 9:6, Jesus is the Prince of Peace. When two people have the wonderful counselor, that's what he was called over in Isaiah 9. Two people have the wonderful counselor, the mighty God, the everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace in them. And he smack dap in the middle or the center of their marriage, they win. Those are winners. I ain't talking about, ooh, she have good sex, ooh, he has good sex. No, no, no. I'm talking about peace and love. We have peace with God, Romans 5:1 says. We have peace with God, Romans 5:1. Then it said we have peace of God, Philippians 4:7. Now you check those scriptures out because I got to go, okay? The evidence of a child of God is the ability to resolve conflict. Child of God promotes unity in the marriage and promotes unity in the home. Unity reflects God's heart. Peacemakers must repair relationships and bring grace into tense situations. When you have a peacemaker, it's not that they want to fuss and they want to fight. They want to bring peace. They want to bring harmony, to whatever this is that keep on causing the car to break down. As soon as you go to a certain distance, here we go again. No, God does not want us to live like that. Not when he's called us peacemakers. No. Conflicts and differences will come, but are never designed to destroy your relationship. They're to build relationships. And I'm going to tell you something. When you have conflicts and differences and you work through those, you will grow. Your marriage will grow. You work through conflict by being for real. You work through conflict by being for real. Peacemakers know how to resolve conflicts. And the reason people will not resolve conflict, they're not peacemakers, because mess is going on inside them. And they can't tell nobody. They got to hide it. They've been hiding it since they were a child. They never dealt with it. And so it's hidden. Fake people will not resolve conflicts and use excuses, and they use the blame game. They blame others. Peacemakers know how to make peace. They do, because they're ready to be open. They're ready to talk. They're ready to say, let's sit down and let's figure this thing out, because this is crazy. Peacemakers know there's nothing too hard for God. They know that whatever the problem is, let's put it out on the table. Let's make it. Let's be naked before the Lord. Because when you do it like that and put it in the hands of God, who is smack dab in the middle of our marriage, nothing is too hard for our God. It will work. The offspring of God should have the best marriages because we know how to resolve conflicts. Ephesians, the 4th chapter, 26 through 27. It speaks of there's major issues there when a husband or wife let the sun go down on their wrath. Think about that. It tells us not to do it. But when we do it, it's because there are major problems in that relationship. There's major problems when the couple delay resolving anger. You know why the dog bites? It's being mistreated constantly. I'm going to say it again. You know why the dog, you know why he bites? You look like you just want to pat and he coming at you because he's being mistreated constantly. You won't feed him. You won't feed him the truth. What's wrong with you is din time. Some use excuses like, I'm tired and I don't want to fight. You don't have to fight, because if you're really a person that want to restore and want to reconcile, you go to God and get wisdom. That's Bible. That's scripture. Before you sit down and you talk with your spouse, you go and get wisdom from God. And you open up by speaking clearly to one another. Don't start roofing. No, be calm and be honest and be truthful. But you'll use the excuse that I'm tired and I don't want to fight. Who does? They feel the issue is too big to fix. It's just too big to fix. And I'd rather suppress my emotions. No, you rather suppress your emotions because of pride. Let's be real. Let's be honest. All of that now, when you do all of that, you have given the devil a foothold for resentment to grow. rather than addressing conflicts promptly and in a peaceful, watch this, and healthy manner. The only way your wife or your husband will be fussing and cussing is because you're not being honest, you're not being real, or they're crazy. But they will hear you when they realize it's somebody that want to rectify this situation. If you do not resolve a conflict, I'm going to tell you what will happen. You ready? Number one, it will block your fellowship with God. You can't be right with God and wrong with your mate. It will block your relationship with your fellowship, with God. You can't be right with God and wrong with your mate. Your relationship being in peace is more than showing up at the church building. See, you become a show now. You become a fake and a phony. You want people to believe that it is what it's not. You want them to believe what it looks like because you're not willing to resolve and reconcile. But you want it to keep looking like it is. Matthew 5:23 through 24, it says, you remember at the altar that there's an issue. And it says with your brother, but let's get real. Let's get jiggy with it. With your mate. And you shouldn't even let it go down. The wrath go down. Night's coming. You get that straight. But now there you are at church. You remember at the altar that there's an issue with your mate and even your brother. Leave the offering and resolve the conflict. That's Bible. That's why many of you are sick, taking communion. You're sick. You're gobbling down the wine and the bread. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't take it, but you should understand that it's a part of the body. It's a part of unifying. Be reconciled first. Why you can't fix it? You have to fix it, husbands, in your house. And I'm dealing with husbands because you are the head of your wife. It's not her job to fix it. It's your job to fix it. It's a priority. Look, 1 John 4:20. You say you love God and you hate your brother? Then you're a liar. You are not walking around miserable and out of fellowship because you won't fix it. You won't fix it. Hello, Deacon Woodard. Number 2, your prayers are hindered when you don't resolve and fix things with your spouse. There must be, watch this, restoration. But restoration is not enough because you could restore something, but it has to be a reconciliation. You could say, okay, we got it down. We got the facts down. Okay, but I still don't want to have nothing to do with you. No, there must be restoration and reconciliation. Restoration, you resolved it. But reconciliation is altogether a higher level when you're reestablishing the restoration. You get what I'm saying? Reconciliation is when you're reestablishing the restoration. God has an issue with unresolved issues in your house, husbands. Don't you ever think that it is okay with God. Now, some of you that don't care, your pride is greater than love for God, then, you're going to keep doing what you've been doing. But God has an issue with unresolved issues in your house. Oh, he does. Men, you're the head of the wife. It's something you did. Either your wife is mentally ill, or it's something you did or you didn't do. I am talking straight from the heart and the word. See, because you're the head of your wife. It's something you did or you didn't do. Why is there an atmosphere in your house that is not conducive to the peace of God? You're to be a peacemaker. You're to live with your wife in understanding. You're to respect, consideration for her unique needs, emotions, goals. You're to even study your wife. You're to know her weaknesses. Treat her as an equal heir. See, that's the problem. A lot of men just jumped up and got married and only see her as a laying down partner, a bouncing up and down partner. Treat her as an equal heir to life's blessings. Don't treat her as an inferior. You foster a healthy environment when you be on one accord. Lighten her burden. You don't think up things to make her jealous and think up things to make her envious of people. And no, never create drama to see if she loves me, if she loves me not. You got to fix that in you. Oh no, that's insecurity. When you do that, that's low self-esteem. Now, 1 Peter 3:7 says, likewise, husbands, live with your wives in an understanding way, showing honor to the woman as the weaker vessel, since they are heirs with you. What are they? Heirs with you. Not beneath you. They are heirs with. They are heirs with you of the grace of life, so that your prayers may not be hindered. Husbands, bring Christ into the home. You are the woman's head, and you're to bring Christ in the home. What you been doing all day? What you been thinking about all day? Where have your mind been all day? Has it been in ways finding to cause your wife to be happy, to be at peace, to feel safe? What you been doing with your mind all day? You are the woman's head. Husbands, you represent Christ, and don't allow conflict in the home. Because you represent Christ, you just don't allow conflict. In other words, you don't allow the devil to divide y'all. Husbands, you deal with your wife based on what you have learned. You've learned her. You've taken time to know her. God wants to give you grace in your marriage. He does not want your marriage hindered. He's smack dab in the middle. God will give you what you can't earn. Oh, what you don't even really know, but God will give you what you can earn in that relationship. Unsolved issues will block your blessing. Oh my God. Unresolved issues is blocking your happiness. You're not happy and people can see the unhappiness. James 3:18. James 3:18. This is powerful. It says, the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace by those who make peace. Oh, a hubby, a husband. Oh, your head is to make peace. You will reap what you sow. Wives, you're to make peace, or you will reap what you sow. You make peace, you sow peace, you'll get peace. You reap what you sow. Isn't this good? You know what? 2 Corinthians, write the scripture down and go back and study it. 5:18. We have the ministry of reconciliation. If you're a saved person, you have the mind to obey God and have the ministry of reconciliation. Stop overthinking in the negative. Stop bringing mess to your house. Talking about, I wonder if she loved me. I wonder if she fooling around. I wonder who she is. The woman just went to the store to get a few items and come back home. Stop overthinking. Stop being insecure. Here's what you got to do if you want to make this right. Number one, make the first move. You're the head. You're the head of your wife. Why she got to make the first move? Make the first move. Avoiding and appeasing is not peace. That's being a coward. A coward misses the opportunity to build on the relationship. You must face the conflict and resolve it. Bring it into it. You must restore the relationship. To say nothing and pretend like nothing is going on is not peace. Let me tell you the word that cowards always say, whatever. Whatever. Well, whatever. Come, where is that in the whatever? Let me share something with you. Glory to God. Genesis 3:10. This is what Adam said. I heard the sound of God in the garden. Guess what? And I was scared. I heard the sound of God in the garden, and I was scared. This is the key right here. I was afraid. Why were you afraid, Adam? Because I was naked. I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid myself. We leave things unresolved and hide them because what? Because what? Afraid of what you might discover about us. I can't be real with you. I don't want you to discover this about me. We become distant and we put off that conversation that can bring clarity, that can bring peace to our marriage. So we enjoy taking the pillow and moving to another room. And then some of us ain't gonna move to the other room. You'll just treat the other person like a dog till they move to the other room. But you're not gonna resolve, and you will not confront because you're afraid like Adam. You're afraid because you'll be naked and they'll find out some things about you that you don't want found out about you. I'm okay with sleeping in a separate room to avoid you finding out my real issue. I will keep my distance. Come on, y'all, I'm almost through. I will keep my distance from you so you won't discover the inner problem that I have. Well, how are you going to be the husband that you're supposed to be? That's why when people do that, when a husband does that, when the head of the wife does that, they become offensive. They play the blame game. They leave your presence to avoid dealing with it. You start talking about it, they'll walk out the door. You start talking about it, they'll go in another room. When people don't want to deal with conflict or with a conflict, they become demanding and controlling. Now, in reality, that person is really immature. You may as well look at it. I don't care what they look like on the inside. On the outside, I'm sorry. But on the inside, they're immature and they're insecure. So what happens? Listen with your spiritual ear on this one. You become a threat to this person. So they minimize what you do. They see you, and it looks like you're enjoying who you are. And so they have to minimize what you do. Now, this is sad what I'm getting ready to tell you. Now, flip the coin. Communication can be hard for someone who doesn't want to be with you. They don't want to be with you anymore. Not because you're not a fit and you're not good, but they don't want you to know about them. They don't want you to learn about them. The pride is so deep, they don't want you to know that part. When you love God and love your mate, you will always want to communicate and fix what's wrong. But a true child of God and a peacemaker, they move first to bring peace in the house. A husband moves first to bring peace in his house. And he let the devil in hell know he's not running nothing. A husband who really loves you wants your heart protected, because out of it are the issues of life. The husband desires to be a safe harbor for you, ensuring that you feel valued and cherished, and making your emotional well-being one of his responsibilities, not just a pleasure type thing, in the bed type thing, a bouncing up and down type thing, but a core part of his love and a core part of his purpose in the relationship. In a marriage, never ever bring confusion. In a marriage, never ever be the one that brings pressure and bring problems. I leave you with this. Proverbs 13:10. It says an insolent person is contentious, and they are unwilling to agree. And I'm going to tell you, there's a hurt behind every conflict. Now, I'm going to leave that alone, and I could keep going with this marriage and more, but we need to hear some more things that God is saying. But women, you can't be a married woman with a single woman's mindset, because all your single girlfriends will mess up your marriage with their advice about what they would do if they were you. They don't have anybody, and you listening to them. And you're carrying that spirit home, and it's tearing up your house. You thought you were going to get away, huh? Brothers, you can't be a husband with a single man's mindset. That's what's wrong with a lot of marriages. Looking at folk you ain't got no business looking at. And when you look at them and you get them, you're going to treat them like a dog, like you did your wife. Why? Because hurt people hurt people. So stop looking and manage what God has given you. Yes, brother, you can't be a husband with a single man's mindset because you will be physically present but emotionally unavailable. You are physically and legally married but not emotionally present or connected. And you think that's a good thing and a good way of living in your house? And you think God is going to bless you? Oh, no. Because you have not developed language for anything beyond anger, your wife becomes a sparring partner and not the love of your life. You are better at expressing anger than you are anything else. Or you're not expressing anything but just walking off. You can't just shut down and refuse to function or communicate. God is not pleased. That is so not like God. You're not a peacemaker. You're a person that has so much pride in you that you would allow the rest of your life to go on living with unresolved situations.